Hello.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Although we're already, where are we? We're nearly 10 days in, so it doesn't really count,
I think
does it?
today's the last day you can say Happy New Year.
Indeed. I don't know if there's an actual cut-off. I suppose the first time you see anybody in the new year is perfectly acceptable to still say Happy New Year.
Well, unless it's July.
Then maybe you're waiting for Christmas by the time you get to July. Who knows?
So,
anyway, we are pleased to see you. Thank you for joining us. We can't obviously actually see you in real life, but you can see us. So
we assume you're there.
We are. We're going to talk whether you're there or not. And then we're going to send it to everyone and you can all watch us talking for the rest of forever. So aren't you lucky?
Well,
you lovely
until like YouTube breaks.
Until YouTube breaks. Do you think we can break it? We could break YouTube for you. Okay. We are back with River Church Online. Now, technically, we're not actually back until next Sunday with our new season. However, tonight, oh look, Tim's watching us.
Oh, yeah.
Tim's supposed to be driving. Maybe he's arrived home. Let's hope he's arrived home and is no longer driving whilst watching us, because he won't be able to look away and will cause an accident. Hi, Marlene. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Or see your profile picture. So next week we are going to get on with serious stuff. However, this week we wanted to come on and have a little bit of a chat, have a look back over the last 3-4 weeks where we have not been with you. And we want to hear about your Christmases. So don't forget to tell us about your Christmases and the things that you have had going on at home. In the meantime, we have also with us online today, we have Hannah, who is amazing. Hannah, there she is.
Hi, Hannah.
Hello.
How was your Christmas, Hannah?
Yeah, it was good.
That's okay. No crashes.
I had all my siblings over. We had all my siblings over for Christmas, so
lovely. How many of you are there?
There's 4 of us, and before anyone asks, they're all girls as well. And
4 girls.
Say as well, my poor dad. Yes.
That's the first thing I was thinking of. Poor dad.
Love it. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
How was your Christmas? Let us know. Did you get any good presents and things? That's the main thing, isn't it? We want to know what presents people got.
It's not presents. It's about, did you get COVID or not?
Oh, yes.
Like, did you manage to avoid getting COVID? I mean, with me and my work colleagues, that's the main thing. You're like, oh, how was your Christmas? Yeah, did you manage to sort of avoid it?
Were you allowed to see your family?
Yes. We had a little bit of a slight scare, didn't we?
We did have a scare. We managed to go and visit my family who live in Devon.
That's where we're big in on River on Church Online.
But we got there, and then after we'd been there for about half a day, probably
about 2-3 hours.
Yeah. Various members of my family all dropped with
COVID. It was like one by one.
Yeah.
It was annoying thing. It was like, get there, and it was like a
concertina effect of each person, starting with the 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Or the 1.5-year-old, and then it gradually went through, and the whole way we were just panicking about who we see, who we didn't see, where we went, what we did. And then we've been testing since getting back.
Yeah.
And
so basically we're driving home, and it's on so we went down on Monday, we came back on a Wednesday, and we're driving back in the afternoon, and we're feeling a little bit rubbish at this point, and we're we've got a headache and and then just feeling a bit run down, and we're thinking we've got COVID. I was a little bit irritated. I was like, I've got COVID, and we go, it's not you have COVID, it's you have to self-isolate now. Anyway, so we got back and we're like, right, we're just gonna, first thing we did, literally unloaded the car and then went around and tested everybody.
Everybody was negative, and then we tested every day.
Yeah, and then next morning tested, we were like, oh.
We're not paranoid kind of people, but there were a few days in a row where we were like, let's test. Somebody's coughing.
We did more tests in about 4-day period than we did over the last 18 months.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, but so I just saw Tracy's comment there.
Christmas was wonderful. Got to see family and friends. I love it.
Yes.
And,
can I just say, when you see Alice
again,
it's not literally multitasking. It's our son who somehow got on.
He's logged in through my Facebook account, so he gets to comment as me. He did, in fairness to him though, he was adamant that we did not have it, and he prayed that we did not have it, and he believed his prayer that we did not have it.
Can I say it was?
And in fairness, he showed us up, didn't he? Really,
He did. But I would just say it was less of like it was more of a kind of desire,
a determination
to see his like cousins, I think, than it was for anything else. So,
indeed.
Well done, Arthur.
but yeah, but anyone else watching, if you've got an interesting Christmas story,
Christmas story, let us know.
Or
Yeah,
like
we do have a we do want to know your Christmas best bits and worst bits. So let us know what they are. Hannah, did you have a worst bit of your Christmas? Oh, good.
Not really, no.
Awesome.
It was just nice being able to see everyone again, because you haven't really had all of me and my sisters and my granddad and my brother-in-law, all of us in one house in quite a while. So, because last Christmas it was just two of us siblings in the house with our parents. So it was just nice to see everyone.
I love it. It's brilliant. We've got Tracy has put in here that she got a few gifts. A book of hope with Bible quotes and one on the Scottish wildcat, which are brilliant.
Ooh.
And we know that Tracy loves her Scottish wildcat, so that's really good actually. Did you get any presents that you were particularly pleased with?
I can show you.
He can show you. Show and tell. Show and tell with Mark.
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
love with Tim's comment here, just a second. Just slippers and dressing
Can I just
gown.
say-
Hashtag old man.
That is though, that's the aim, that's the dream when you get older. Can I say I'm thoroughly disappointed. I did not put it on my Christmas list, but this year I did not get a new pair of slipper booties. So I'm gonna have to go and buy myself some new slipper booties.
Where are my
Yeah.
slippers I got? I actually
That's
got a pair
good.
of slippers as well.
Why you're
Hannah's
saying
gonna
that-
go and find her slippers.
This is even more like old manish. I got a torque wrench there, but it's not even that. It's torque, right? So it means I can set the level of torque I want to do.
Literally no one
Which
cares.
is I've got a slightly nice bike, and you need some of the things you need to tie it to the right torque thing. I appreciate most of you are like logging off right now.
Oh look, this is romantic. Angela and I gave each other the same present.
But
I
what?
love the face
was
on
it?
Good question.
If it's appropriate to share online.
Yeah, two questions. Like, yeah, what was it? It's B. Like, was it planned? Like, did you know you were doing it, or is it like, yeah, or was it
I
surprise?
don't know. It's got a face smacking emoji, so maybe it was an actual accident.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, we've got one here from Marlene. What have we got from Marlene?
But Tano, we want to know more.
Yes, Tano, please. We want one. Okay, saw some family and friends and played loads of board games and card games. Monopoly deal card game. Yes, we love that, don't
It
we?
is, especially it's really good for the kids
Because it's so quick.
Unlike real Monopoly, which takes like 4 days. And
I feel like maybe we need to have some like thumbs up in the chat for people who like Monopoly, because Mark basically has refused to play it with me ever since we got married, and that ruins my Christmas every year. Even though I'm kind of over it and I've grown out of the need to do it every year now, it still upsets me that he refuses to do that.
so before we reach Tano's comment, Monopoly. just know
Oh,
to me,
no.
Monopoly deal, yes. Like that is a pretty good game. It's over in like 10 to 15 minutes. But yeah, real Monopoly.
Okay, a neck massager. Nope, not planned. So have you got 2 neck massagers now, or are you sending one back? Or do you both sit on the sofa with your neck massages on?
Like watching
In
TV,
sync.
just like
I love it. We might need to get a photo of neck going on. I love it. Is that because Angela refuses to massage your neck for you, that she bought you a machine to do it instead? I love it. Okay, what have we got? Tracy got socks. Socks, does that say? Oh, totes with gingerbread people on. Very nice. Gingerbread people, though, that means they're a bit Christmas niche, no?
I've no idea what totes are.
Tracy, maybe we need a bit more of a
Oh, yeah.
snazzy pair of gingerbread people on. 3 pairs of slippers. Socks.
Probably slipper socks.
Slipper socks. Slipper
No, I
booties,
shouldn't
maybe.
have.
Who knows? Okay, what else have we got?
Go on.
We have got Tracy. Good bit for me. Did a testimony on anxiety at church and did not feel anxious at all about it. That's amazing, Tracy.
That is
I
pretty
love it.
awesome.
So we'll book you in, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Careful
Alice
what
will be
you
back.
say.
I'll second you, Tracy. But like, yeah.
Does it yet? You'll get a phone call tomorrow. book you in for our new series. Why not? Okay. We've got a lot of board game fans here.
Oh,
love
actually,
it.
can I just say, we've got even better present than my talk wrench that no one
Yes.
cares about. This is what we got.
Yes.
You got Settlers of Catan.
Yes, amazing. My family all pulled together and bought us the whole set. So we can now have epic board game evenings. I love it.
A Batwing support pillow. Wow.
Pillow. What's a Batwing support pillow?
I don't know, but it sounds amazing.
I want one.
So I think in my head, it's like a Batman style, like. So
Yeah, that's
But I assume it's probably something to like help support you when you sleep. So can I say your husband's done well there, Grace? I think
Yeah.
hopefully you made him a nice cup of tea as a thank you for that.
It's good. It's good. It's good when people get us what we want, isn't it? Slipper socks. Totes are the original slipper socks. There we go. You've all learned something. If you've got nothing else from this evening's aimless waffle
Can I say now you say
and
that?
chats,
I think I can
You did
I could
know that.
probably draw you their logo actually, or their like I think I know what you mean now. Totes.
oh look,
Okay. I get what you mean about the pillow. Yes, because when Alice like reads in bed, she has.
I
Like,
steal all his pillows.
So I go to bed sometimes, and like, all her pillows is like in this big kind of like thing. Yeah.
Monster pile. That's
Yeah.
good. I love it. Love a good read. Monopoly Empire. We need to search that because I don't know what that is. So we'll have to have a Google and see if we can.
our favourite game at Christmas is always Cluedo.
Cluedo.
That's a bit of an old school game. Isn't
That's a really old school game.
We loved Cluedo as kids.
That's amazing. We did. We've got a game that is called. What is it called? Goat Lords, and it's hilarious. It's a card game, and you build a herd of goats. But you have then these goats that, as you play through, some of the cards are action cards. So then you can blow up people's goat herds, and you can swap goats, and you can duel people for their herds. So you build your herd gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I did
Like the game Exploding Kittens.
It's a bit like Exploding Kittens, yeah. But I played it with the children, and I'm a really bad loser. I don't like losing, even to children. I'm not a bad loser. I just like to win. So I don't have a lot of grace when playing with my children. So it did get to a point where one of them had a really awesome stack for his herd of goats, and then the other one blew up the entire stack. And I had to do like a really patient, gracious parenting moment where I had to contain my joy at his herd being completely blown to smithereens, whilst also reminding the one that had blown up the herd that actually we shouldn't be unkind to our brothers and we shouldn't gloat about it, even though clearly it was good move.
That's how the game is played.
Well, indeed, there are rules and we keep them. That's what it's about. So Christmas best and worst. So keep letting us know what are your best and word bits. We might have to, or maybe we need to arrange
I think some games.
a Catan night. We might have to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
We can work on that. Okay. So let's should we have a look at what the next here?
Oh, sorry. No, it's a bit of a
Shall we have a look at what the next subject we're supposed to be talking about is? Hannah, what we got? What's our next hashtag? Nativity lessons. Everyone loves a bit of nativity at Christmas. So before you all roll your eyes and like sigh, we want to know what your nativity takeaways were this year, because every year we hear the nativity story in various forms, and everyone will have heard it or seen it in a Christmas advert on TV, or in the nativity the film, or in a church setting, or online, or wherever. There will have been some version of the nativity story that probably everyone has seen in the last 4 to 5 weeks. So if you had any what do you call it, insights, revelations, that's what I was going to say, new things that have come from the nativity story, or if there are things that maybe just really irritate you about the nativity story every year, we would like to hear them, because that's how we roll.
I think the word, well, for me, okay, I might get slaughtered for this. Now, I love carols, but most of them, but not all of them, There are some carols that I'm not a fan of.
Oh, okay.
Way in the Manger, not a fan.
Yeah, but I think that's probably because you're not 5. And
We just
because
lost a bunch of
you
viewers
don't
for that
go and
comment.
watch a 5-year-old's nativity anymore. I don't think you've ever watched a 5-year-old's nativity, actually, have you? No. I think that's the key for Away in a Manger, is the age group. I think that's.
Yeah.
Is that really all you've got for nativity related?
Well, no, I'm just saying. I just think you want to share about. I just like some carols. Yeah, I'd happily bin them off.
No, fair enough.
Sorry, that's just me though.
Fair enough. You can come back with your advice about carols. We're not all on Mark's side here. We don't necessarily agree with this. No matter how respected and a greater leader he is, you don't have to agree with him. It's up for discussion. Is that smile? Anyway, my biggest thing from the nativity this year, actually there were 2 things. So I had to prepare a talk for our community. We did like a community family session, and there were two things came out of it. One which is less serious, and one that was actually something. Oh, Freya, you've upset Freya. Freya loves Away in a Manger. Sorry, Freya. I'll get him to, like, I don't know, get him to do a performance of it for you and send it.
Next Christmas, yeah, next Christmas.
Next Christmas, we'll add it.
Apology.
On the triangle.
Yes, we'll need a disclaimer first. Anyway, so while I was preparing this talk, and it was for families, and it was aimed at families with young children, so it had to be young children friendly. And one of the things that I was talking to Mark about was that what animals would have been in the stable or the outhouse or whatever you want to refer to, stable. I don't know what it is in the original version of the Bible, like original whatever. Anyway, beside the point. So we were having a discussion about what animals were going to be in the place where Jesus was born. And so I was writing a list because in my head I was thinking of animals that children can make noises for. And so I had cows, I had donkeys, I had sheep, I had a horse, I had chickens, and an owl, because owls live in barns and stables potentially. And then I had pigs on my list. And Mark literally like came in.
No.
Like a wrecking ball.
No, I very just I made a comment that probably it wouldn't have been pigs, and
which is probably true. However,
can I say no wrecking ball involved?
I was just thinking about the noises that children could make and have fun making during this talk. So anyway, I scratched it from my talk. And then when I was actually giving the talk and I asked the children to say animals that could have been there when Jesus was born, and one of the most popular animals that came up was a pig. So there you go.
So her story about nativity is just how
whether pigs were there or not.
Well,
that was.
I think it's more like you just having gentle go at me.
But also, yeah, I was just ranting, having an outlet in mighty because I feel like you care about me and you want to hear my struggles from Christmas. That's what it is. Anyway, my actual thing that I picked up from reading the nativity story and preparing for this talk was that Jesus talks to all different people and he uses all different people. So it sounds like I'm going to go deep. I'm not going to go deep. But there are so many people in the nativity story and they are all so different from different walks of life and they all had a choice and God spoke to all of them individually or used them all individually. And they had a choice whether they were going to allow God to use them. So even from like the innkeeper, when these random people knocked on his door and were like, I'm about to go into labor, we need somewhere to stay. He just suddenly in his head thought, I know, you can stay in my stable. And that was God using him. To the wise men who God didn't speak to by angels or a voice or anything like that, he used what they studied. He used a star and then they knew without any interpretation that they should follow the star and what it meant that there was this new king, this new baby born that they had to go and see. And like the shepherds needed hundreds of angels, but then they were so excited that they went running, but they could have actually just run the other way. So they had a choice anyway. So that's my serious point that I have learnt from the nativity this year.
Talking about the shepherds, right?
Yeah.
Someone sent me something about the shepherds, and it was really interesting that the shepherds, right? Their job. Obviously, I appreciate looking after the thing, but they looked after a certain type of sheep, and it was the sheep that was used in the sacrificing in the temple, and so they were knowing about what the lambs that were sacrificed.
Well, all shepherds then?
No. The shepherds
Just
are
these
on the Bethlehem Hill. Well, that was they did that, and so they kind of got the best sheep and they got the best lambs. And apparently, the manger was this it wasn't actually like a wooden thing like we see in all our nativity scenes. It was actually like a stone trough that they would have fed the animals in. But what was interesting is that when they picked the lamb that was going to be sacrificed, they would swaddle it in a cloth to basically protect the lamb and to keep it thing, and they would put it in the manger ready for the priest to take. And so when the angel said to them, you will see the Messiah, you will see them do it wrapped up in a manger, and said this will be the sign to you. And this was they're saying that it was like showing the shepherds that this was going to be the Messiah, that was going to be the one that was going to be sacrificed. And
I love that. I haven't heard that before, but that's pretty cool.
I've not heard it. I've not really done it full justice, but it's
next year's Christmas.
That's the thing I learned about. This is what I love so much about that story is the way that God is just so amazing and just so it's just so many layers of this story, and on the outside it just looks like kind of this weird random story of kind of all these different, as you say, these different people. But the way that God had purposefully done these things, it was kind of set it up, and so he came to these particular shepherds who would understand the significance of what it was. And I love it. You just see God kind of revealed in the Bible, and the way he's just this story just so amazing that almost I was thinking about it, if you tried to we love a really good story of where the writing's really good and a TV series or something, and it's all so clever, and yet the book of the Bible, it was written over thousands of years. The way it all so perfectly fits together, and you think that's amazing.
Love it.
So that was my little nativity thing about the.
I love it. Look, we've got a long one here. Tano went for a 10K run listening to a great sermon on Joseph being the one who got to name his son Jesus. That is pretty nuts, isn't it? That a man got to name his son Jesus. I know that sounds silly, but that's that's a bit nuts, isn't it? Can you imagine an angel coming to you in your dream and being call your baby Jesus, and then you actually have to do it, and then you get all these random people turning up on your doorstep, or not even your doorstep, on the stable doorstep, because they want to see your son Jesus that they didn't know about. It's nuts. He can't remember the rest. Brilliant. As his knee was hurting like crazy. Tano, unfortunately, you are getting old like the rest of us. Actually, you're older.
Oh, yeah.
You're going first. You're paving the way to getting old. But it was a really good sermon. I love it. Maybe we need the name of the person who was there. Okay.
Should
we move on?
Yeah, let's do our last one.
Last one. What have we got, Hannah? New year, new you. Any New Year's resolutions? Any? I'm not sure that I agree with New Year's resolutions as a whole, but a new year does provide a nice kind of break for a new start, I guess, or a new venture, doesn't it? What have you got?
Yeah. Well, one of the things I want to do is read more. So before the pandemic graced its presence upon this world. Sorry, that was quite a fancy way of saying before the panic. Just because I was fed up of saying before the pandemic arrived. I used to get the train quite a lot, and so I'd read a lot on the train. Of course, I don't get the train anymore. My reading time's cut down massively. So I've set myself a target of reading one book every month, because hopefully more. Because at the moment I've got a massive stack of books that I'm failing to get through very much. So that's my aim.
Marlene's with you.
Marlene's with me. Yeah, it's good. It's good to.
Yeah,
So
as well, to be fair.
Yeah, and I kind of mix it. Yeah, do a mix of different types of books as well. So, I could even do a book. I could maybe do a book review.
Book review. book review? Let us know in the comments.
Or just maybe don't want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Want a book review.
Who wants
Make it a weekly segment.
We actually, can I say, I
Weekly?
might introduce it just purely because it'll make me read the book then, rather than like
Oh, yeah.
I've read 2 chapters of this book. It's really good so far. But yeah.
I
No.
don't.
But anything else? What about you, Hannah? What are you kind of looking to?
I don't know. I've not really made any New Year's resolutions, really. I mean, I need to find myself a new job once I finish here, but I'm kind of letting that come as it. I've
Let's
still got a
Still got 9
while.
months of that. We're not looking to. We'll get ready to be ready anytime soon. Now you've got 9 months, so yeah. I've got time.
Either that or this is a secret. This is like a gradual introduction to the idea that actually she's had enough and she's leaving.
Some of those things she's like, here's my P45.
Yeah.
I quit. Literally shut down the computer and walk off. Yeah.
No, I'm not on that at the moment.
Tracy misses reading. She started reading The Wheel of Time on the Kindle app.
I'm with you, Tracy. The Wheel of Time. I'm into. So, for those who don't know, it's a new TV series on Amazon Prime called Wheel of Time. It's actually a book series. It's 13 books, and I'm currently book 9. And over Christmas, I did actually read most. I basically finished in about a week and a half. I finished book 9, which is really good. But it's a kind of a high fantasy novel. It's a bit like Lord of the Rings. It's really good. There's lots of characters in it. It's quite slow moving at times, and sort of spent ages like talk about something, and then suddenly big battle happens.
What is it on? Is it on? What is it on the TV?
Amazon
it's on
Prime.
Amazon Prime.
It's good, but I'm trying to encourage people to watch it because then Amazon will make more of it, and then otherwise, like 3 seasons in, and then it cancels it, and you're like, oh,
funding his own addictions.
Yeah, but no, Tracy, we'll have to next time we chat. We'll have to talk about how you find.
But Tana's gone the other way. I've removed all social media apps from my phone, as well as removing Netflix and Prime. Did it last year for 6 months, but binged a bit at Christmas. Good to detox and refocus and read more. I love it.
That's
hardcore.
Yeah,
Tano. That's proper hardcore. I'm not sure that I would. Actually, to be fair, I do less on social media now for myself because my job involves a lot of on social media. So actually, I do less for me because I'm sick of it.
All right.
By the time I've done like work stuff, I'm so sick of it that I do less.
I thought that was your thing of like, oh, I'm on Instagram because it's a work thing. Yeah.
I am on Instagram
That's
because
good.
it's a work
So I say,
thing.
Tana, I hope you haven't uninstalled WhatsApp because otherwise you'd like, struggle to get out. Well, Tana's like not replying to
avoid
anything.
everything. Marlene, being more disciplined, in everything.
I just assume that's everything.
Again, hardcore, guys. This is why I don't do New Year's resolutions because basically, if your expectations are too high, you fail. You feel like a failure. I'm sure that Marlene will manage to be more disciplined because she is more disciplined than me. Self-discipline is not my strong point, is it? And let's be honest, I've literally I'm on like season 9
I think
of Heartland because I decided I was going to start watching or rewatch a series on Netflix called Heartland. It's amazing, by the way. Canadian horses, cowboys. It's beautiful.
Family drama.
I love it. Safe family drama. It's not risky or anything, so it's good. But then I started watching it and then it turned into like a big binge fest. And then Netflix were going to remove the first 7-8 seasons on the 31st of December. So then I had to like take my binging up a notch even more. So that I could watch them before they all disappeared. And even that was a target too high for me, though. I failed. And so I missed a season and a half in the end and had to like fill the gaps in. But luckily I'd seen it before, so it was fine.
I say,
anyway.
Tracy Robbins has got a good New Year's aim.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
We both got it at the same time, I think.
Okay. 10,000 steps every day. Yes, I love it.
That's really good.
I do love my step counter on my watch.
Can I say this time last year when we were like in lockdown 3, the worst lockdown, I think there was quite a few days where my step count didn't go above or I think it hit about 300.
Well, you were working.
I was working from home.
home.
We didn't have to go out for any reason. And obviously I was kind of trying not to go out. But there was a few weeks where my step count was badly, like
very bad.
bad.
I managed to hit 9,000 and something by 10 o'clock the other morning, which I was quite proud of.
Was it just from walking the dog?
I was walking to school and back, and then it was walking the dog, yes. But that's a good reason to have a dog, I find. That's a good reason. On that note, if anybody has a dog and lives in the Orpington area and would like to meet up for dog socialising walks, please do contact us.
As long as I don't mind walking with a puppy.
We need to socialise our dog, and we'd like to use you for that. So yeah, let us help.
Unfortunately, I can't steal my dog from Gravesend.
No,
it's not very effective.
I think he'd be a bit big as well, though. To be fair, Toby is very large dog.
but just as we, I say it's been really good hanging out with everybody and just a bit chatting. It's good. But I think before we start to call it a bit of a close, really, I just want to encourage everyone. We had a really good sermon today at church. We're about to start we just started a new season, a new sermon series called on the principles of giving. And I recommend it if you haven't and never watched one of our church or listened to one of our church sermons. This is a really good one to listen to. It's about Pastor Tim talking and Pastor Tim. It's not just about us as a church trying to hold everyone upside down by their ankles and shake them for money, but it was talking about really God's heart. As Tim said, it was amazing. But Tim spoke about the principle of investing. And he talked about a kind of parable of talents, which I'm sure probably most people might have heard of, or you can read it. It's in Matthew chapter 24 of the Bible. And I just want to encourage everybody, really, as we look, obviously, we've been talking about New Year and New Year resolutions and the way to do it. And I think the really encouragement that Tim was giving is that God has given us talents and has given us things. And really, the challenge is about what we invest in, because I'm kind of paraphrasing very badly here, but really the idea of what we invest in is what we become. And the challenge for us as a church that Tim was sharing really about what are we investing in this year, really. And I think the thing that I would like to kind of encourage you guys, wherever you are, whether you're watching, whether you're from our church or from the local area or from further afield, is that kind of challenge really about what are you investing in? And I think that we invest in ourselves or what we can get, or we investing in God and what He wants, what He's looking to do. And I think really for us, I think the thing that really the whole point of investing is about the kind of what you're going to look to get in the future. And I think really that if we invest in ourselves, then really we're going to find ourselves quite shortchanged, I think. But actually, if we invest in the things of God and the things that God wants us to do, then I think we'll find that we're going to have a really blessed year, and a really year where I think actually we're going to see a lot of things happen that will really surprising to us, and I think we'll be really surprised as we kind of reflect back in sort of 12 months' time about our year. I think we'll be really surprised, and so it's something to do really, because I think this whole idea of what you invest in is what you become, and really the kind of and I like one of the things that really spoke to me this morning was about don't look at the cost. Like when you spend it's about spending money or spending time or spending your energy. It's not about the cost of it, but it's about what you're investing in, and sometimes not looking at kind of the cost, but looking at what you invest in. And so that was, I think, really challenging for us. So it's something I want to just, as we're about to kick off our new season, is hopefully you'll invest in online church and come along and listen to this and really, but it's not about us. I think it was so good that
it's not about our egos, we promise.
But it's not about, like as I said, us. Because if we're your answer, then I'm afraid to say that you're investing in the wrong thing.
Indeed.
You'll be very disappointed and be super shortchanged. But really, the whole point of online church is about bringing Jesus and about bringing. Because really, the reason why we love Jesus is made such a difference in our life, and it's done so much for us. And really, we're doing this to tell you about Jesus and to encourage you to make the effort and to find out about Jesus and to make that step to know Jesus. And I think if you invest in Jesus, then you really won't be disappointed. And really, I want to encourage you this year is to make Jesus your focus.
Okay, so on that point, from next week, okay, so we appreciate that we've basically used 36 minutes of your time so far. in chatting about our Christmases, our lives, and Christmas presents, and having a little moan about each other, probably. So we really appreciate you for sticking with us. So next week, though, we are going to start properly with our online church. So every Sunday at 8 o'clock again. And the season that we're going to do is looking at the difference God makes to people's lives. And we've got some really cracking things lined up for you. We've got loads of different stories and testimonies. Some of them are going to be pre-recorded, and also some are going to be live guests. And we do actually have quite a lot of live guests so far lined up. So some of the things that we're going to be looking at, the difference God makes in our lives with money troubles, how far away from God is too far? Is that such a thing? The difference God makes in our marriages, the difference God makes to our outlook on life, our habits, health challenges, losing family members, making choices, and also tucked in this season is Mother's Day, which comes. So we're going to run this season up till Easter. So Mother's Day is in there as well. And actually, that's a really big one for some people, whether you're a lady or a man, actually, because everybody has a mum somewhere. So even if you don't have kids or anything else. So I have actually added it in there as a weekly thing that the difference God makes for that. So those are what we've got lined up. We have a couple of weeks in there where we don't have a topic yet. So if you have a topic that you want us to think about or find somebody, or that you'd like to share about, Tracy, anxiety, we've got a WhatsApp number, which is on here now. Or you can Facebook us. I'll let Hannah's trying to follow it along the screen. I saw you pointing. So yes, let's get rid of these things. There we go. So, sorry, double tap. We're getting too efficient. That's what it is. We're just getting too efficient. So there are all these different things that different ways that you can contact us. So with your ideas, if there are things that you either want to hear us waffle about, or things that you would like to maybe share about how God's worked in your life or things like that, then let us know by messaging us or giving us a WhatsApp call. That WhatsApp number only works on WhatsApp, but I think it does work as a WhatsApp phone as well as WhatsApp message, so that's fine. Or if you know us, just drop us a message anyway, because technically we make the plans for online church. So yeah, if you know us, do that. But we would really love to hear from you for this season. We're really excited about what God's going to do and how God's going to use it. Oh look, Tim is giving Mark points, 10 pastor points. I'm not up for pastor points. I don't think that's a thing.
Jesus points.
Jesus points is acceptable, but pastor points, what do they mean? What does that really mean? Maybe we need a scale system, points for prizes. Maybe that's what we need for that.
No,
I love it.
But thank you so much for joining us, whether it's 2 minutes or that you've shown us the whole time. And thank you for those who kind of commented in. It's great to have you. Otherwise, it would have just been me, Alice, and Hannah just chatting to ourselves. It's good. But yeah, I think we'll finish here, and we look forward to seeing you next week. What's the first week? Go on, this is put you on the spot. I don't know, you'll find it as a surprise. We'll post it out on our kind of social media stuff.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's nearly there, but not quite.
Or you could just turn up at 8 o'clock next week.
Surprise!
And just
it's
try
like a YouTube video where they unwrap something on the video, and they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Reactions, isn't it? A reaction video to what the topic's going to be. I'll try and put it on our Facebook and on our Instagram so that you have some,
if you want to,
clue.
I hope you can make it be really good. We're really excited about what God's doing and what God wants to do in your life. So it's good. Well, thanks for.
We'll let you go.
Yeah.
Unboxing church.
Someone just posted.
Yeah. I love it. That can be next season.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a really good evening and a really good week, and we will see you at 8 o'clock next week. See you everyone.
Bye.
Bye guys. Bye.